and welcome to this very special Diwali special episode where today we'll be talking about Gruhlaxmi to Dhanlaxmi. We'll be speaking to women entrepreneurs and women who've actually made a mark and are not only known as great investors but also are successful entrepreneurs and have a lot to share with our women viewers today. So let's welcome aboard. First, I have with me Aditi Kothari, Vice Chairperson, DSP Asset Managers. Aditi, good evening. Welcome to the show and wish you a very happy Diwali. Let's speak to Aditi first. Aditi, what according to you is the meaning of Gruhlaxmi to Dhanlaxmi? How do you actually look at this concept?
I feel all women are Lakshmis, firstly, okay? I don't know if I will separate Gruhlaxmi and Dhanlaxmi, but all women somewhere manage money, okay? And I feel all women need to not only save, but they need to invest. So I'm not sure whether because whether you're at home, you can be an inheritor of money, it's your money, you've made the money. So whether you're working or not, it's yours and you're responsible and you have to grow it, and it also gives you financial independence and it gives you some courage and a feeling of freedom somewhere and a feeling of confidence overall. And same for Dhanlaxmi. I mean, everyone has to, with their money, inspire to become Dhanlaxmi. So I'm not sure if I answered the question, but I'm all for women to be Dhanlaxmis everywhere. I don't think we can really distinguish.
All right, I'm also joined by Priyanka Salot, co-founder, The Sleep Company. Priyanka, good evening and welcome to the show. All right, Priyanka, that was Aditi's version on what is the understanding of Gruhlaxmi to Dhanlaxmi. How do you look at women entrepreneurs and women investors, especially talking about startup culture and post-pandemic? We've seen a lot of women actually venturing in this space. What is your close upfront experience with women who want to get into the same trajectory?
Yeah, no, firstly, thank you for having me here and wishing you and your audiences a very, very happy Diwali. I have huge respect for women who, take up the courage and follow their dreams. And those dreams could be either about working or it could be either about creating huge potential opportunities for their kids, for their family. Right. And I think, as Aditi said, we all are somewhere responsible for creating wealth and responsible for it. For me personally, I think the journey has been, from I was working with Procter and Gamble. I was heading their detergents and diaper business for a long, long time. And I think for me, the journey from corporate to startup was the desire to create a value and to create something bigger. And what is, and I would ask everybody and every woman out there, what is it that you want to be remembered for? And I think I wanted to be remembered for making an impact on other people's lives. And that's how I think for us the journey for the Sleep Company started, and how I moved to the startup ecosystem and how I started my entrepreneurial journey.
All right, let's talk about women investors. And Aditi, just for understanding, because you meet a lot of women investors out, we know DSP as a fund house is doing a lot to encourage women to enter the financial world. In terms of financial literacy also, you guys are doing a lot. So when I ask about your experience, when you speak to women investors or when you try and understand their concept of investment, what's actually stopping today's Lakshmi from becoming the Dhanlaxmi? What are those factors which are actually coming in the way?
I think women are not encouraged, and therefore they don't have the courage to do it themselves. And some of them don't have the interest. Some of them, feel that it's too many numbers. There is a myth that people have internalized that investment has to do with a lot of numbers. It's too complicated. And by the way, women who've internalized themselves are not into numbers. And by the way, of course, there are numbers, but there are numbers in everything. It's not all about that. investing can be simple. It's not easy in that sense because there's a lot of emotion, you have to know how to conduct yourself for an investment. You can't get swayed away here or there. And so that part, of course, you need to learn. But I feel, and women will be very good at it, but I feel that you need to encourage women from when they are teenagers or even younger. They should see their mother being a role model, and even if she's not, my mother always told me as a child, please make your own money. She always said that, don't be dependent on anyone, make your own money. And then one next thing mothers have to tell them is not only make your own money, learn how to invest your own money so that the reins are always in your hands. And I feel if parents, mother, father, can encourage their children, especially the girl child, to do this, she will feel encouraged. And when she gets her first salary, she won't be giving it to her father, saying, what should I do with this? She will know what to do with it already. Or he will encourage her again at that moment, saying, you need to figure this out.
Very important point highlighted by you, Aditi. Priyanka, taking the lead ahead, how do you look at the role of the mother?
Yeah, so, I strongly believe you're a reflection of your upbringing. And I think it's very, very important, as if we want women, which I think is very, very important. I think every woman out there should be independent, and financial independence is very, very important. It's not just about the money. I think it's about what you feel about yourself once you're independent, the empowerment that you have, the pride that you will feel. And I think that's very important, but that's a function of the upbringing. And I'll just give you an example today. And this I learned through my journey. I have a 8-year-old son, boy. And, I asked him one day, which a lot of us ask, Ayan, what do you want to become when you grow up? And he tells me that, Mama, I want to be an entrepreneur like you. And I want to start my own business. Right? So, and that was just such a powerful statement to hear from him. And it took away all the guilt that I might have had over the years. And I think all the moms and all the women, I always say women have different DNA from men. We all get guilt, right? 2 times when women leave workspaces, when they get married and when they have kids. But I think it's important to understand that you are setting up far better examples. You are becoming a far bigger role model for your kids by being by working and by being independent, and versus quality versus quantity of time. So I believe we have to teach our kids, both boys and girls, of how important it is to be educated, how important it is to be financially independent. And that could be both, obviously, earning money and investing money. But I think that's the core of it. How do you tell women to be financially independent? And that would come on how we raise both our girl and boy child, because that ecosystem is most important around us, which help women to be pursuing their dreams.
It's very important, and that's the kind of ecosystem we at ET now, and you being a women entrepreneur is also trying to build. But then Aditi, the question to you now, because it's Diwali and you both are women entrepreneurs with us, and both are Lakshmi Swaroop. So I will take investment tip each from both of you. So Aditi, let me begin with you. What's the one investment tip that you would want to give to our women viewers?
Firstly, you need to be very boring in your investments. Okay, investments, the minute you get excitement in your investments, means you're in the wrong direction. Investments have to be boring. They have to be, they're not always going to be stable because it goes up and down, but your endeavor should be that. If anything goes up like crazy, don't get too excited. If anything goes down, don't get too nervous. And we have to figure out how to be continuous investors. And in the long run, the Indian equity market has always given returns. There have been times where they've not given returns for like 6 years, 7 years. If you invested at the peak of 2000, it took to like 2005 or 6 for you to sometimes recover your money. So I'm saying that the we have to be very zen in our investments. And that would be my first advice. Two is, how do you invest? Really boring. SIPs, if you've not heard of it, it's systematic investment plan. Your salary goes into your account. From the account, it gets cut and goes into a fund. Okay. Now, if you already have the money and I don't have a salary, I just have money, put it in what is called a liquid fund, which is very, very low risk of a fund. It's not no risk, but it's low risk. And from that, every month, the money will transfer into um, uh, a higher risk fund. Now, people will ask me, which is the first fund you should invest in? I really like, and that's again personal, and it also depends on your risk profile. So, first, really important, before I reveal the fund I like that I think is quite universal, but you need to assess what is a risk profile. My risk profile will be very different from your risk profile, will be very different from my sister's, my mother's, everything. So, and definitely different from my husband's risk profile. For women in general, they have different risk profiles than their fathers, their husbands. Risk profile is figuring out what is my risk tolerance and my risk taking ability. What is risk taking ability? If I'm younger, I have more time to take risk, because if I'm 25, chances I live up to 70. I'll be earning money. I can invest it in the markets. Even if the market drops, there's enough time for it to recover because I'm going to live pretty long. So, and now with all the health advances, we'll probably be living even longer. So that is your risk-taking ability. It has to do with your age. It has to do with your income. If you have dependents, if you don't have dependents, if you have lots of dependents, you can't take too much risk because you need the money to fund them. If you don't have dependents, you can take more risk. If you have a very good salary, you can take more risk, of course. So it all depends on things like that. Risk tolerance. That is my willingness to take risk. So I may be really wealthy. The ability is very high, but I'm really a scared. Like, market goes down, I freak out. I can't handle it. My emotions can't handle it. Not yet. And let me tell you, risk tolerance changes over time. But maybe in the very beginning, I can't see my money go down, even though it's temporary, because I can't deal with it. So that means your risk tolerance is low. Sometimes your risk tolerance is very high. Listen, I just want to go all equities. I don't care. I know the market will go down 20, 30%, but that's okay because I know it will recover. I don't need the money right now. I'm fine. So that is high risk tolerance. So you have to see where you are on the spectrum. Now, if my risk-taking ability is high, but my risk tolerance is low, that means I can take the risk, but I'm not. Someone should help you, push you a little bit to take the risk. But if I'm 80 years old and I want to invest everything into equities and I don't have a salary, your risk-taking ability is low, you shouldn't be doing that. If you're 80 years old and I want to bungee jump, even though your risk tolerance is high, your risk ability is low, you should not be allowed to do that. You understand? So very important to put them together and then decide. What I tell everyone, the first fund, if someone asks me, after one is you can figure out your risk tolerance and you decide, and there are lots of tools online. DSP has one on its site, and you can figure out which are the right funds for you. Otherwise, they've come out with multi-asset allocation funds. Some of your money will be in, like the one in DSP is in gold, in fixed income, in equities and international equities. You get diversification from the very beginning and you start your SIP in that, and that's it. So that's really the long and short of your question.
That's right. That's right. No, but then quite an in-depth strategy. Priyanka, what would you suggest?
I believe in two things. One is, invest in companies that are building long-term sustainable products or services, right? And hence, don't look at portfolios of companies for short term. I think long term is something that I believe in. And two, I think very, very important is diversification. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You want to take it slow. You want to make sure that your your portfolio is well diversified. And that's how I look at my investments today. Most of my investment, one obviously is in the sleep company, because we believe we are building something truly long term and truly something that is changing lives. And two, then I end up investing a lot in equity, but I would invest in companies, which I trust are building long term products and services, and hence are business building value to the value out there and not just short term numbers.
Right. I really want to talk more to both of you, but then the time is up. Thank you so much, both of you, for being on the show and being a part of our Diwali special and helping our women investors walk their financial journey path. Thank you. We'll be answering your portfolio queries live.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.